Hello and welcome to the JTrain podcast. JTrain, Jared Freid, coming live from the West Village of Manhattan. We're here every Monday with your emails, your stories, your questions. I say it every episode. Let me say it again. Thank you. Thank you for being a listener. Thank you for being a viewer. If you're watching on YouTube, we're back in studio. That's right, Feather Nation Studios. We're here. I got your emails in front of me. I want to thank you. If you're not a YouTuber, get subscribed. Go check out the channel. There's stand-up there. There's videos. We got clips. But also want to do a quick thank you. The Boston shows, you can see it in my eyes. I drank 1,000 vodka sodas eyes right now, and I apologize, YouTubers, that you have to look at me. But I thank you to everyone that came in Boston. It was like a dream weekend for me. So people, and as far as upcoming shows, I'm going to be in Miami, and then I'm going to be in Virginia Beach. We just added Oklahoma City. JaredFree.com for tickies. Let's get to our guests. I'm super excited. First time on the show. I am a fan of theirs. Rozzy, thank you for coming on.
I'm a fan of yours, as you know.
The Mutual Admiration Society, right?
Yeah, we both found each other on podcasts, I believe.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre the way the world kind of works out. I listen to the Tony Kornheiser show, which is a podcast, and it's like a sports podcast, but it's like, it's a very like everyday, they talk about everything on there.
Totally.
And I love that show, and I've been a guest on that show, and he plays musicians at the end of it, because when he went to podcast, he didn't have the rights to old music that he liked. So
totally.
Listeners would send in friends and family.
Yes.
And they'd be like, this person is like in the comedy world, coming up, working at it. They want, we all want to be followed. And I say to people all the time who listen to the show, follow my guests. Please go, especially Rozzy. So talented. Her debut, or her deluxe album.
Yes.
What is it for a deluxe album?
Basically, it just means like a few more songs. Because we've been releasing this album slowly. The music industry is, they like to have like a new shiny thing every few months. So I've been slowly releasing this album, and it's finally in its entirety coming out on Friday. Now it's out already.
So you're trying to get people to basically what the music industry is trying to do and the comedy industry is trying to do is to get you to touch their things as much as possible. So so interact with it. They want you to do the single, and then they want you to do
if I had just released this, I don't even remember. There's a lot of songs on this record. If I just put it all out at once, it would have just been like 1 week of press, and then it'd be like, that's depressing. So this is we do one EP, and then the next EP, and then now we're doing
you're micro-dosing yourself to people.
Yes,
so it's called Berry, and it's on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to music.
Yes.
We want you to go subscribe to Rozzy on those platforms, as well as Instagram @ThisIsRozzy. I'll be sharing the Spotify, the Instagram on my socials. Of course. So good to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
So you're a musician. You're playing shows in New York.
Yes.
We were just talking. I just did a hometown show. I had family and friends there.
Totally.
What do you do in that scenario? Because you're I'm doing jokes and I try to avoid eye contact.
Well, I think we have probably a somewhat similar situation where my songs are incredibly personal. They're very literal. And
you're singing to a cousin
who know me. Oh my God. And they're like, whoa, that's crazy. It can be pretty. But I feel like with jokes, it might even be more extreme.
It's hard because, especially first of all, if they go sexual, that's a little weird.
Yeah, no, totally. Well, same with my songs. I mean, sometimes my dad came to my show and I was like, oh, don't listen to this one.
This isn't the one. Skip. Put your hands over your ears. It's hard to I just did the Wilbur, which is big theater.
Congratulations.
And thank you.
Very exciting.
1,000 people. So I got there early and I was like, hey, you can, when you do a theater, you can tell them how to do the lights to a crazy amount. Totally. So I got there early and I go, can you make me as bright as possible and the showroom as dark as possible?
So it could be anyone or no one.
I'm speaking into the ether. I'm going to perform this.
Yes.
It's a theater. I don't have to talk to the audience.
Yes.
Great. And they go, yeah. And then I look at it and they go, you'll probably see the first row. And I'm like, who would I know in the first row? Second show I come out, I'm looking directly in the front row. I know the person. I have to avoid eye contact with them.
Well, especially because, I I'm actually quite similar on stage as I am in real life, but it still is like the way I describe a song is a hyper, like, you know, on your iPhone, you can zoom in on the photo, like hyper pixelated, zoomed in tiny moment in time. And so it's me times like a million, and sometimes that's a lot.
But that's comedy too.
Yeah.
It is a heightened version of yourself.
Yes.
Someone said to me, your energy when you come on stage is crazy. I'm like, yeah, I'm coming out there to sing, dance, and dust.
Exactly.
Like, I'm coming out there to perform.
Like, you're ready to go.
Yeah. I'm going to tell these jokes. I got to like put my, it's got to be like, it's the first time telling you, and I'm so excited to tell you this story.
Comedy is the most brave thing on earth, I have to say. I'm serious. Because I think about it like, you know, I've played every size venue you can imagine, from really big to really small. But the consistent things, I always get to just like sing my song, and it doesn't, if no one likes it, it doesn't really matter. I can just kind of disappear into the music. It's so, you guys feel so naked to me. It's amazing to me.
It's the one thing I'm jealous of musicians about.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm jealous, like, you get to be a rock star. Like, comics are losers. And
no, that's not true.
And nobody, always, I think musicians want to be comics want to be musicians.
Yes.
And the way it goes is, I am so jealous of being able to just play a song, and then like you could be the background for people.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Like, they can close their eyes and go wherever they want to go.
And I'm not saying I haven't played some demoralizing gigs, because I absolutely have.
What's the worst one you've ever done?
Oh my God. I played a laundromat once. That was pretty weird. Yeah, fortunately, that one was okay because I was like,
I've played
really
a laundromat
new.
too.
Yeah, in San Francisco, actually, I think.
I did one here in New York, but it's funny that like, I'm like
clink, clink, like choo. Like, it just was like,
yeah, mine was better than that.
Yeah.
There was closed laundromat, but to hear people going like, is there any detergent? Like, I wouldn't want that.
Totally. And then I recently, this one, like, I was very grateful to do it. I played this show in Hawaii, and it was just an exchange for like a trip with my best friend, and it was really fun. But they casually were like, do you want to just sing a few songs the night before, just in this other place? And I can't say, I just say yes probably too often.
I'm the same way, yeah.
And I found myself like being the like weird, you know, like if you go to a Hawaiian resort, there's like
I've never been to a Hawaiian resort,
okay.
So no, but
there's often a local musician singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow like on repeat, and no one cares. I just found myself
in the lobby.
Yes, in the lobby, exactly. And so I was that one. I kind of wanted to like disappear into the ground a little bit.
You do have those. I get it completely. When you who's in the music industry, you're in this, you're doing it. Everyone go follow @This Is Rozzy, @This Is Rozzy, @This Is Rozzy, and Berry. It's the deluxe album. It's out right now. Follow on Spotify. This is all so important to everyone that comes on the show, but especially we want to make sure you get the new album that's going to come out in the future, and you just have Rozzy waiting for you on your playlist. So
exactly. Thank you.
What's the biggest artist that you've been around? Like, is there someone that you're like? Because I have those comedy moments.
Totally.
What do you have in the music? Is there anyone that you're like fucking crazy
that I've had like gotten to work with? Well, just recently, Nile Rodgers is on my latest album, which is amazing. He's like a legendary guitar player. He did I freak out.
Come on,
like up on that to get lucky for the more modern, you know, he's legendary. So he and I just did a song together.
Hold on. So we were talking before, you were like, and I was going to explain my relationship with music. Mm-hmm. I was on a date with a woman, and I was like, oh, this person's coming on the podcast, showing them your profile.
Does she like me?
She goes, Nile Rodgers.
Yeah.
She like that legitimized you.
There you go.
You know, like, but we get that all the time where they go, like, someone goes, are they funny? And then they go, Tonight
this person
Show.
Thinks so. Okay, my favorite thing, I mean, honest, so my first record deal, I was signed to Adam Levine from Maroon 5. So that kind of legitimized me in a sense. I don't work with him anymore, but I was signed with him. So that, and then through him, you know, I got to do some stuff with like Kendrick Lamar, all sorts of crazy stuff there. I just don't really count a lot of that because I don't know if it's similar in comedy, but it was a little like it was before I was ready for it, and I kind of it was a step along the process to really like finding myself as an artist.
Right.
So the newer stuff, it just carries a little bit more weight for me. Like I love Ariana Grande, and she's been really supportive of me and stuff, and that's been just validating. You know how it is? Like you play so many laundromats, and then and then one of your heroes is on your side.
I'll tell this story right now, but if you're a Patreon subscriber, let me go to Plug City.
Please.
Patreon.com/Jared Freid. There's a Coffee with JTrain episode about I had kind of a star-studded week this past week.
Yeah.
And when you
drop some names, please.
Jerry Seinfeld went up after me at Gotham Comedy Club.
Wow.
And legitimately, he complimented a joke of mine, and I had my recorder in my back pocket.
Yeah.
Recording my set.
Oh my god!
So it picks up this compliment. If you go to Coffee JTrain, you can hear it. We're gonna attach it. I'm
no
taping it.
Way!
Yeah, I'll play it for you afterwards.
Please, like his voice, his like iconic voice.
Right. You're like, oh, and then, but like, listen, I'm a huge Seinfeld fan. Like, I've met him in passing in the past, but this was like, he was like specifically mentioned. What's that?
As a Jewish
person.
Oh
my God.
Me too.
I mean, like, like, right? Like, you're like, oh my, it's Jews too. Like, this is like,
camaraderie.
Totally. And I'm like, but you have someone that you go, I respect this person.
Yeah.
And then they go, I like that. You're like, oh, it pumps you up.
Did you see, okay, I feel like it's kind of like a lame reference, but what's that movie that came out last year with Andrew Garfield, and it's about Jonathan Larson, who wrote Rent. It's kind of I can't decide if it's worse for me to say that's cheesy or if it's better for me to say that's cheesy. Either way, I loved it. That's what I'll say.
I heard he was like unbelievable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the reason I think my boyfriend was like, I don't even want to see that, and I was like, I loved it so much, but I can't decide if it's lame or not. But there's this moment at the end, spoiler for that movie, where his musical he writes like doesn't get all this work, nothing happens, and he's like devastated, and he comes home and there's a voicemail from Sondheim, telling him how much he liked it, and I like sobbed my eyes out. I just lost it because it means so much, It's like it's so hard that when one of your heroes validates you,
right? And I guess what we're protecting against, like I was like, I don't want to sound like I'm like this like name dropper,
totally,
like asshole.
No, but that's not what it's about.
It's not what it's about. It's just like, oh my God, like I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But I was telling so with music, it's funny. So I showed this woman your profile, and she saw that name.
Yeah.
And I refer to myself as a music pig because I have no taste. and I love your music.
Thank you.
But I just go, if I hear it and like it, I like it. There's no like, I don't have like the judgment of like, I like this type or I like that. But like that's top 40s. Yeah. Good. Go for it. Like and so like that's how I discovered you, because I'm like, I'm listening to this podcast and it gets to the end, and sometimes I'm just like, the earphones or the AirPods are going, and I'm listening. I'm like, oh my God, this is unbelievable.
That's
and then you go search them out. That's how. And it's like, but it's funny because people are like, what do you, the answer, do you like music? Yeah. There's no one out there that doesn't like music.
If they are, it's very concerning for me.
That's crazy. Yeah. But when someone asks if I like music, totally. I do a thing where I'm like, I'm embarrassed to say because I don't have any knowledge.
Yeah, you're afraid to like what the follow-up questions are. But to me, that's the way, like the whole point is just to make anybody feel anything. Right. So who cares if like that's so, it's like, that's like saying like, do you like food? Like, yeah.
Right, I know it's but it's like, do you like dogs? Like
sure.
When I say, yeah, I like dogs, they go, people, if I don't answer excited enough, they're like, oh, you fucking hate dogs.
Yeah, by the way, I'm with you. I like dogs. I like them.
Fine.
Okay.
Not like a person. I'm not rolling around the street with them. So we're super happy to have you. This is Rozzy. Go follow her. We're sponsored people. BetterHelp. Ooh, I love BetterHelp. If life came with a user manual, things would be easy for everyone, but it doesn't. So when it's not working for you, it's normal to feel stuck. Navigating a career change, a new relationship, or becoming a parent can make you feel uncertain. Therapists are trained to help you learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the closest thing you'll get to a user manual for you. Here's what I love about BetterHelp. It is a great, I think, as a lazy idiot myself, and I will be like, I got to go to the doctor. Then you Google doctor and you go, totally. What the fuck am I doing? Right. BetterHelp is a great opportunity to like put your toe into the water of therapy.
How many people do I know are like, I wish I was in therapy, but I don't even know where to go to get a therapist.
Where to even start. This is a great start. And we're going to help you with some free money, which is great. BetterHelp is online therapy that offers video, phone, and chat therapy sessions. You can choose to not see anyone on camera. Again, in the vein of toe in the water, you can be like, let's see what this is like without having to look someone in the eye doing this.
Text
like me
first.
on stage with someone I know.
Yes,
right.
exactly.
As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists. Available 100% online, plus it's affordable. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler. No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searches for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/JTrain. That's betterhelp.com/JTrain. So go get involved with BetterHelp if that's something you're looking for. Let's get it going. You ready?
Yes. Can't wait.
With Rozzy. Dating in graduate school. JTrain team. I'm a 20s female in medical school, back on the apps after some time focusing on school. Things were fun at first, but now I'm having a hard time. For background, I grew up well off, went to an elite undergraduate institution, and now am at another elite institution for med school. An important fact is that my current institution is in a smaller city. I'm attracted to men who are smart, ambitious, and frankly want a future partner whose earning potential will match or exceed mine, such that I can continue to live a comfortable lifestyle. How much money people are making right now isn't even that important to me, but I would love it if they're on track for some kind of high-powered career as well. Clearly, to be in medical school, I love learning, and academics are really important to me. Honestly, when I go on the apps now, most of the people don't seem up to my standard career/looks-wise. Then when I do chat with these guys, too often they assume I'm in NP, PA nursing school, despite my MD program being on my dating profile. This is a huge turnoff because I want someone who supports my career rather than someone who makes assumptions based on my gender. No male friends ever get mistaken for something other than MD students. I have Hinge filtered for education, undergrad, and postgrad as a deal breaker, but, and I feel terrible for saying this, it still doesn't help that much as frankly, I'm probably not going to be a match for someone who went to a local community college. She writes, community college is an awesome path for people. I want someone who has more similar academic experience to me. This is a wonderful email. Because what she's backtracking on, like, yeah, I get it. Okay. Yeah. And it's like, we're both like smiling, laughing because like, it's like the things you have to say. Like, we're all doing like internet speak. We're all like making sure we're like.
Any job, as long as they work hard or something. She's really cutting to the chase. What she's after.
And I like that.
Yeah, me too.
Do you have any suggestions for this luxury-loving girl struggling to find a partner in a small city that doesn't have a huge young professional scene? How do you deal with the Hinge swipe burnout when it feels like I can just X hundreds of people in a row? Any tips for better filter for the qualities I'm looking for? I know this is specific, but also a problem that many women in competitive professional careers face. Now, Rozzy, what do you think of this email?
I think it's really interesting. I mean, my first question would be, is she planning on staying in this smaller town? Because, couldn't she like expand the like location, whatever, on Hinge, and then kind of, because that might just be like a literal geography challenge that she's facing.
I agree with that. I think, and then the problem is, for a woman, that's easier than a man.
Sure.
If she set her location to New York City and was I'm here, a guy is going to go, a guy might see it as an opportunity.
Yes.
One, and he might be like, oh, cool, you're in town for the weekend. We can hang out. It'll be easy, no stress.
Right.
But a guy's going to be open to it. If I set my location to L.A. and I match with a woman, she'd be like, and I was like, yeah, I'd visit L.A. every now and again.
She'd be like, I hate you.
Yeah, fuck that guy. But I think for her it could work. Here's what I love about her email.
Yeah.
She wants to date someone. Let me acknowledge what she is saying. Mm-hmm. It's tough to fly commercial after you've flown private.
That is true.
Okay? And she has lived a private plane lifestyle.
She's not looking to... Right.
And she don't want to fly Delta.
One question... She sounds like she's on the path to be making a lot of money.
Totally. But I can understand where she goes... I don't want to be.
She doesn't want to.
I don't want to do Pretty Woman for a guy.
Okay.
I don't want to.
Okay.
But I kind of.
No, you're right. I'm like trying to pick apart what she's saying, and you're accepting what she's saying, and that's. I need to get there.
Right, well, I don't think you. I think what you're saying is totally correct.
Yeah.
And like she's gonna be fine, and I think she knows that.
Yeah.
I think it's just interesting. Like I once went to a wedding, and someone. This is why there's income inequality because. Mm-hmm. People marry people from their socioeconomic background. That's just the reality of...
people they know.
It's the people they know, which is going to be part of my advice for her.
Yeah.
Because she's swimming in waters that...
I was going to say, aren't you in school with a bunch of... If she seems very smart and very ambitious. I'm assuming the people left and right of her are also very smart and ambitious.
At elite institutions.
Yes.
Also, the people she went to undergrad with, elite institution.
Like
there are private schools. She needs to dive into her friends and family.
I agree with that completely.
Those are the people who are going to go, hey, you got to meet my friend.
Yes, very good practical tip.
Right. Muffy from the country club would love to meet you. You know, like... Right? You'll get your Richie. You know, you'll get Richie Rich. Yeah. Oh, you must meet. I was at the gala last weekend, and Richard is adorable. You'll get him.
Exactly.
That's who you got to hang out with. Like, get out of the apps.
Yeah.
That's the peasants that are on the apps.
It's true. It's the peasants on the apps.
Right. Well, this was the whole premise of the League. Was like the League was
Raya.
Raya.
Yeah.
Locks Club kind of did that with like.
I don't know that one.
That's the Jewish version.
Right. Yes.
Locks Club tried to say, oh, it's a
bagels and locks, but
right. Well, they try.
What do we mean?
They go. Well, we're gonna we're only gonna accept the good candidates. It's like. Right. Okay, everyone who went to summer camp and that that's a doctor. Like what makes good Jew bad Jew?
Exactly.
So I've shilled for them before. I've done ads for them.
Yeah.
But that's what I said in my ad. I was as honest as I could be. I was like, if
you're an elite Jew, get on this elite Jewish app.
Right. So, which is crazy. So, but here's what it is so yeah, she has to go to her natural market, which is
totally. I mean, even actually I'm thinking about it. So my boyfriend and I were not poised to meet. He's a lot younger than me. We live in different cities.
How did you meet?
We met. So this is a perfect example. It's not a perfect example because it just happened. It wasn't like some big, but a little. It was like a half setup. I was going on a vacation with my entire family for my grandma's 95th birthday.
Come on.
And he was on a vacation with his family for his grandpa's 92nd or something birthday.
This is a movie.
I know. And his aunt is my mom's friend. So right
you
there
say
is
aunt?
what you said. Aunt. Sometimes I know. To be honest, I switch it up.
You said you're from San Francisco. Do they say aunt in San Francisco?
Aunt.
We say aunt in Boston. That's why the only reason I.
Here's what I'm going to say. I don't know. I'm also a little bit of a contrarian, so they probably say aunt, and I'm like, screw you guys. It's aunt. That's just my personality.
Okay. So his aunt.
His aunt is my mom. She was actually. I always used to say, Mom, Becky's like your coolest friend. I love her. They were just like, she was just like in the clique with my mom's friends.
So wait, your mom knew his aunt.
Yes, and so
on that vacation they
tried to set us up, and I was like, when your mom says anything, you're just like, no.
Right.
To be fair to her, she's almost always right, but
you're
was
cautiously
I'm just
pessimistic.
Like, absolutely not. He's like I said, he's 6.5 years younger than me. I was like, there's no chance. But we met on this vacation and just had a really fun vacation romance, and it's been 3 years. So it's like
unbelievable.
But my point is, it is what you're saying. It's like it wasn't on purpose, but if I had wanted really actively to meet somebody that was not somebody I already knew, but was in the world, like we are not from the same world, but in a lot of ways we are. Like his aunt is really close with his family, and she's close with my mom, and there's a reason why that was easy.
It's the transitive property of people.
Exactly.
If mom likes aunt, then nephew, you'll probably have a lot in common with.
Yes.
Values wise.
Yes.
Also, like, honestly, to speak, and this is what this podcast is about, uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah.
Had comfortably, economically.
Totally.
You're at the same vacation venue.
Totally.
You're, we don't, these are the things you don't want to think about or say out loud,
but that is the truth. You're right. They make a difference.
So this person, I would reach out to all the old friends.
Yeah.
I'd reach out to Muffy.
Setups.
And all your...
Muffy has got it for you.
Right, Muffy. What are all some other rich names? Preston. So go to the art club. But the apps aren't... It ain't going to be it. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Here with Rozzy. This is Rozzy on Instagram, but we want you to go and check out the deluxe album. It's called Berry. You can subscribe to Rozzy on Spotify. Like, is Spotify the big one, or is
Spotify? Yeah, Apple Music, whatever.
You can subscribe to me on Spotify.
Exactly. While you're at it, subscribe to Jared.
There's albums there. We're sponsored. Get ahead of thinning hair with Nutrafol's whole body approach to hair growth. No drugs, no compromises. So I have to say, Nutrafol. I don't have experience with it. My mom loves it. My mom is I'm like her pusher. She calls me. She's like, need more. She's reordering. She's seeing a difference. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement, clinically shown to improve your hair growth, thickness, and visible scalp coverage. Nutrafol multi-targets the root causes of thinning, including stress hormones, nutrition, metabolism, aging, and lifestyle through a whole body health. In a clinical study, so they do it for men now. Men showed progressive improvements in hair growth and thickness after 3 and 6 months. Nutrafol is also trusted and recommended by more than 3,000 top doctors. You can grow thicker, healthier hair and support the show by going to Nutrafol.com/men and entering the promo code FEATHER to save $15 off your first month subscription. This is their best offer anywhere, and it's only available to U.S. customers for a limited time. Plus free shipping on every order. Get $15 off at Nutrafol.com/men, spelled Nutrafol.com/men, promo code FEATHER. What a good offer. Let's keep it going here.
Yes.
Red flag or struggling with insecurities? Jared, my boyfriend, and I have been together for 3 years and are about to move in. We talk often about the future, and he keeps asking how I feel about engagement. I don't have many doubts about this man, but my one concern is around his friends and how he acts when we're in a group setting with these men. They're his college crew, and they're all taking their time with settling down, all around 30 years old. So are typically on dating sites. My problem is my boyfriend doesn't seem to have a filter when I'm around, and these guys want to have guy talk. I get it. We all still like to look, but my boyfriend will often say things like, she's cute, or what about this girl? She's single, and seems all too excited to be part of these conversations. I guess I wish he'd not really engage in this talk while I'm in the same room. Whenever I bring it up, he says he's sorry, but doesn't understand why this bothers me so much. He loves me, and he doesn't see the wrong in pointing out someone's beauty for his friends. Is this normal male behavior, and my guy just doesn't have a filter? Is this my insecurities, or is this a red flag or a deal breaker? What do you think?
I'm gonna say that I'm leaning more to that's an insecurity than a red flag, personally. I guess what I would, my general rule with almost all relationships that I've been in, that my friends have been in, if you feel fundamentally secure and safe, the little stuff doesn't faze you.
Right.
If you're not feeling fundamentally secure and safe, everything's a fucking red flag.
Right.
And that's just how I feel sometimes, and I'm not saying that if she's uncomfortable with it, that might be a reason enough for him to stop, because we all make concessions for our people.
Right.
But to me, I mean, as somebody, like, the idea that my boyfriend, she would rather him talk about girls being cute when she's not around, to me the control freak is crazy. I'm like, please, I want to hear it. Like, I want to know. I don't want to be the last to know who you think is cute,
Right. It is, it's, with most things, this lands in like the gray area.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm her, I can understand.
Yeah.
That if he's like on his friend's phone, being like, "Oh, I'd fuck her."
Well, that's different.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. Ooh, look at them titties. Like,
I guess what I have to say is it's kind of the emotion behind it. Like, if my boyfriend were to say it in a way that felt really real, that would make me uncomfortable. So, but if he's like, that girl's hot, I'm like, yeah, she is. You know,
it's the difference between being laughed at and laugh with. It's two different feelings, and you go. So, and again, like, if he was like, "Oh, she's cute," I would definitely go for that. That's a different thing than
totally.
"Ooh, baby, oh yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom with this profile."
It's like the emotion behind it, 100%.
So, but I would also say to her that he's including you in this conversation because, and also she said that she doesn't like it, and that's the problem.
Yeah,
is that he's still doing it.
Yes, I agree.
Despite her request.
I agree.
Here's what I'll say. So that's a problem. That's something you need to talk with him about.
Yeah.
But here's, so to give some feedback to her from like his point of view, I've done this where I've been in a relationship and I've like thought like, I care about this person so much that like, and I think so highly of them.
Same.
That I'm like, of course I'm going to tell him who I think is hot.
That's why I almost take it, like, it almost feels cozy to me.
Like,
honestly.
Right.
Like, I'm like, yeah, like great ass. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's something about it that's like, it's just honest.
It's also, it also talking with your partner about who you think is a little hot.
It is totally hot.
Right? Like,
yeah,
it's 100%. A little sexy to be like,
100%.
oh, she's hot. And then your partner goes, oh, I totally agree.
Totally.
Like, it's kind of like this fun, weird, imaginary world you're going to together.
And I have also experienced when it crosses a line and I might feel insecure. Like, of course, everybody knows what that feels like. And I agree with you. I think he might just need to really understand why.
Right. And it hurts you. And listen, again, laughed at, laughed with. Like, I do understand if she's in the room and he's like being too much.
Yeah.
But, and also, here's the other thing that happens. And I've been single friend with married friend. Mm-hmm. The single friends might be the ones saying the uncomfortable things, and he's just agreeing.
Which is the nice thing to do.
Right. So it almost like, it gets on him a little bit.
Yep.
Because it sounds like, you know, if you hear the other guy being like, oh, she's so hot. And then he's like, no, definitely cute. Yeah. You're like, well, he didn't say the hot one. Yes. He said the cute one.
Exactly.
You know? Like,
exactly.
So I think this is a hard thing,
There's
but I think
nuance
she's definitely got to talk to him about just not listening to her completely.
Yeah.
But I think she also has to see the fun in this conversation with a partner, because it can help the relationship.
Because if she can, and again, it's only if she really can feel confident about it, but if she can, then it's like you said, it's like, that's probably really just like a sexy confidence to have that.
Totally.
You know?
And he might be looking for that. That's why he keeps doing it despite your request.
Yeah.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Here with Rozzy. This is Rozzy. Go follow. Go. He called me his ex's name.
Ooh.
Jared. Avid JTrain oversharing live stream fan, thank you. My boyfriend and I have been together for 6 months. Things have been great. I've known about his 12-year high school through post-college relationship since we started. 12 years.
Damn.
And they've been together 6 months.
Yeah.
It ended pretty badly for him. And he had a few relationships between her and I. The other night we're on the phone, and he called me by her name, and I was like, huh? And then he corrected himself and apologized, blaming it on being super stoned. I feel pretty awkward about this, to be honest. But I also know they grew up together and so on. But I also can't imagine accidentally calling him my long-term ex at 22's name. 22, so they were together at like 10?
At 20, I got confused by that last sentence.
Right. But also he was high, so how do I bring this up without sounding jealous? I know they're still in touch on occasion, which is not a deal breaker to me. I'm friendly with some exes as well. However, I don't want to be called her name like ever again. Sincerely, jealous bitch. Yeah. What do you think?
I mean, I get that. That I would not enjoy that. I think she could definitely talk to him about it. My gut, again, maybe I'm just an optimist, but my gut tells me 6 months to 12 years and he's stoned. If anything, that's just a sign of comfort. Like, you know,
that's
I'm like,
good way to look at it.
He was with this person for 12 years.
Yeah.
That's family. Suddenly this new person starts to feel like that. I don't think that's like necessarily a sign that he's wishing you were her, or thinking you were her. But I still think it's worth a conversation.
It's got to have a conversation. I agree. I like that angle of like, that's a comfort.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking to you like I would talk to family. The one thing that is tough is it ended pretty badly for him.
Right, I agree with you.
When I hear that, I'm like, okay. And it's written from the emailer's perspective going, she knows he's revealed to her, like...
Well, that's why it probably upset her. She might not even have... She might have laughed at it if it, you know, like it's... We tend to have intuitions about the person that we should be jealous of.
Right. And it's like... But also, they're 6 months in, and you are wondering, is this... At 6 months, you're kind of going...
Yeah.
And I'm sure you had this... How old were you when you met your...
I was 28.
So you're 28 and he's 22.
Yep.
Okay. So you're probably... So listen, you meet on vacation.
Yeah.
And you go, this is fun, this is flirty.
Totally.
Through the parents so it feels safe.
Yeah.
I know the family. Like, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But 6 months in, you were probably thinking, can this 22-year-old do a real relationship?
Yeah. I mean, our timeline's all kind of funny because of COVID. It ended up probably going a little faster than that. Mm-hmm. But definitely didn't give him the credit he probably deserved early on because of our age difference.
Right.
And also just any woman, I think, in general, and or probably man too, before you're going to let this person into your life and into your like soul,
right,
you're protective.
And that's what she's doing. She's basically saying, he was in this 12-year thing. Is he? She says
Really?
he's dated other people, but like you can date other people and not be ready.
I would love to know how long it's been since they broke up.
And it's like, and that's important. And also, did he just get in relationships because he was used to being in a relationship?
Totally.
So, and people who are in 12-year relationships that go to the next, they usually go to the next one and feel comfortable in that space.
Yeah, that's true.
I think what she needs to talk to him at 6 months, if she's looking for something serious, she has to say, how do you see a future?
Yeah.
How,
honestly, this conversation is probably needed no matter what, and this name thing might just be a catalyst. It's
absolutely.
6 months.
It's 6 months. We got to see what this is, and you have to like a little bit pry, like, and you have to know if he's ready for a real relationship and not just hitching his wagon for a break. And on like, there's an element of like
getaway car,
like almost like he needs to like sometimes a relationship is a rest stop.
Totally.
So he's like pulling on the rest stop. I'll hang here. I'll be comfy with this person who I like. And I'm not saying he doesn't like you. I'm just saying, but he's like, I don't see a future, but I need to be in a relationship.
Have you ever called somebody the wrong name?
No.
Yeah,
that's I've forgotten a name, but like on a date.
I once called this is really weird. I once called my best friend, who I'm very codependent with, my name. That
really?
was
That's one for therapy.
And like, I was so bizarre. I have a song called Best Friend Song. Like, we're very codependent. Like, we're just very close. But I once was like, hey, Rozzy. And I was like, I mean, Tatty. It was really fucking weird.
Like, I gotta go take a walk. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Here with Rozzy. This is Rozzy. I love the sponsor. Factor. Make Factor your personal chef this holiday season. They shop, prep, cook, and deliver to your door so you can enjoy chef-created, dietitian-approved meals during the holidays minus the hassle. These fresh, never-frozen meals that are delicious and nutritious with calorie-smart and keto options. Factor meals are perfectly portioned to keep you on track with your goals. Factor now offers over 34 meals per week and over 3 dozen add-on options. Each Factor meal arrives pre-prepared by their team of chefs, ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes. Cheaper than dining out, so you can put that money towards holiday fun. In addition to ready-to-eat meals, they have cold-pressed juices, smoothies, energy bites, extra protein, veggie sides, and more to keep you going to the new year. So what I love about this is if you're cooking for one, you're living alone like I do, hard to shop for healthy ingredients and to get creative. Factor does both for you. So you're going to have healthy ingredients because you don't have to buy a head of lettuce, so to speak. Yeah. So they're going to like put together the food for you and you keep the portions right. That's why I love Factor. And it's creative. You're going to get new stuff. It's never going to get old. So head to go.factor75.com/JTrain60. Use code JTrain60 to get 60% off your first box. That's crazy. That's code JTrain60 at go.factor75.com/JTrain60 for 60% off your first box. Here with Rozzy. This is Rozzy. Go follow. How honest is too honest? Okay, before this email, we're going to give a trigger warning. This has to do with suicide. So if you want to skip over this, go for it. Just going to give a warning to the audience. Shelby, can we put like a timestamp? Let's do that. JTrain, thank you for all your advice over the years. Saw you in Madison this spring, and you were so funny and still laugh thinking about it. Thank you. I have a dating question. I've been single over the past few years with some on and off dating, but nothing too serious. The main reason for this is I was busy taking care of my mentally ill mom after she attempted suicide multiple times. Hey. Now she is in a facility by court order, and I finally have my life back. I'm ready to start dating to settle down. My question is, when the conversation inevitably turns to why I've been single for a while, what do I say? I don't want to scare them away by divulging all my trauma too soon, but I don't also want to give a shallow or canned answer. Any advice is greatly appreciated. Sincerely, single and finally ready to mingle.
Wow.
Tough email.
First of all, my heart just really goes out to her.
Right.
I mean, that's so intense.
I can't imagine. It's very intense.
Dating's hard enough. Like,
right.
That's insane.
Right.
I mean, first of all, I think the right person is going to be really understanding of both degrees of this, whether an overshare or an undershare.
Right.
I think if the question is coming up date 1, date 2, and you're not interested in understandably divulging all that information, I don't think it's a canned answer to say, I've been dealing with some family trauma.
Right.
I think you could make a joke about it even, like, you know, that's how I do with, like, maybe something that feels heavy, like, not about, of course, not about the suicide, but about being vague. Like, I'm going to be vague because it's just not time yet.
Not ready for that yet.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Let me start. Let's take a step back. She wrote something very important that I think she should, this might make her feel better.
Yeah.
Why have you been single for a while? That's not really if she's dating men, not a male concern.
That's true. I think women ask that question more than men.
Or wondering.
Yeah, totally.
Right? If they don't ask it out loud, they go, well, they want to know what's with the gap. Are you ready for something serious?
Men get it. They're like, I don't want to get married either.
Right. Right. They're like, yeah, I'm chill. Like, totally awesome.
Yeah.
So I think that might help her feel a little bit better because you're not a lot of men go on a date and go, so I see a little gap in your resume.
Yeah.
What have you been up to, Missy? You know, like, it's
true.
You know, you might get a question like, when was your last relationship? When was the last person you dated? I asked that question.
Yeah.
And you can just say, you know, if you're not ready, it was just a few years ago, just been dating around since. That's like, that gets you out of the subject.
That's true.
I would also say to this person, this isn't gonna scare people away, the people that matter.
That's what I'm saying.
What you said, yeah.
We don't know you, and I hear this story, and all I think is, like, how strong you must be,
right?
How capable you must be. That doesn't, and it's not, and it. By the way, it doesn't even seem like anything close to a burden or an unnecessary weight on anybody else's shoulders around you. It just impresses me that you're so capable.
And that's the thing, like if someone, first of all, I talk a lot about like the reveal.
Yeah.
Instead of having a conversation about like, what are we, conversation saying how I feel.
Totally.
This is revealing this to someone is you saying, I trust you with this information. True. So it is a step in your relationship.
True.
You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. And the people you're going to reveal that to, they're going to go, well, I'm so sorry. And then they're going to probably, you know,
show
if you're
themselves.
close, well, show.
Yeah.
They're going to show who they are. And they're also going to have questions that are going to like let you see how much they care and how, if they're the right person.
But I
to
do
send
understand if that feels, and I don't know where she's at. Maybe she says she's ready to mingle and she's past this point. But I do understand how that puts her in a little bit of a risky position where she's kind of opening herself up to just,
absolutely,
if they say something stupid back, like, we can't control these idiots out there, you know, like I do respect if she wants to kind of protect her own, like, emotional field until I would just say feel comfortable saying it or not saying it. I don't think I think, like you said, either I've been dating around, whatever, works too. But if you want to share it,
that's thing.
Great.
I think it's okay to like hold back on this until you trust someone. With it. So this won't be. It doesn't have to be a first date combo. It doesn't have to be a big reveal. Also, it could be somewhere in the middle of those two things where you go, hey, I just want to let you know, like, you know, I've had a great time with you. You know, I just want to, there's something that's been on my mind to let you know about. And that could be okay. But it's like everyone has things. Everyone's holding luggage.
Absolutely.
Everyone's got stuff in their hands. And they're going to have to open up the luggage and show it to you at some point. Do it when you're comfortable, but also be okay with the canned answers.
Yeah,
like, I think that's like okay.
Totally.
Hey, until you're comfortable. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com.
This is so fun, by the way.
I'm so happy you're enjoying.
I'm loving it.
You're killing it.
I just like love to give advice even when I have no idea what I'm talking about. So this was made for me.
That is the whole point of this show, is just two people talking out of their ass.
Whatever we want to say.
Right, and it's not our problem. Right? Good luck to you. It has nothing to do with us.
Yeah.
No +1 for you. Papa JT. Love everything you do. Just saw you kill it in Albany. Thank you. So grateful to have stumbled upon you through GGE. Girls Gotta Eat, thank you. And we have been sipping the Kool-Aid ever since. So now I'll get to the juice. I was invited to an October wedding by one of my former coworkers. However, my fiance was not. Although kind of odd, I did not take offense. She invited a handful of the work crew last minute, and none of us got +1s, despite being engaged to our prospective partners. When I told my guy this week about my non-existent +1, he verbalized that he felt that I should have declined the invitation because that's not what you do when you are engaged, and that if I still go, then I'm disrespecting our relationship. I can understand being bummed that he can't join me, but feel that I am choosing this wedding over him seems like a bit of a stretch. Love my man, don't want to invalidate his reality while also still want to go. Appreciate any insight you and your guests might have. Thank you, kind sir. Rozzy, what do you think?
Yeah, I think, to me, like, love is freedom. Like, you should set people free. You should want people you love to enjoy themselves. I completely agree with her. He's allowed to be kind of hurt feelings. I also think it's kind of strange to have a fiance not get a +1. Agree with all of that. But if she wants to go, I think he should want her to have fun.
This is a little bit controlling. To me, I'm like, I was trying to think about this. First of all, it's weird that you're not invited with a +1.
Totally weird.
Second of all, if I got an invite late from a former work person, no +1, I'd be like,
yeah.
I'd feel okay
love saying no to a wedding. Adore saying no to a wedding. This person wants to go.
But that's the thing. This person was like, fun party. It's been probably, and I can understand going, I haven't been to a wedding. Oh, she's engaged, so she's going, I want to see what people are doing.
Totally.
I want to
she
check
wants
it
to show
out.
off the ring everywhere.
Go out. I want to get a little drunk. And I was thinking, I was like, if I'm the boyfriend or the fiance, I'm going, thank God, get the fuck out of here.
Same.
I'm going to sit here in my underwear.
I love being alone at home.
Like,
and I also genuinely, like, this is no bullshit, I genuinely love when my boyfriend's having fun. Like, I don't need to be there.
Right. How great is it when they go off and then they get a little tipsy, come back, she's like, oh my God, she's a little bit drunk.
And by the way, maybe what all controlling men need to realize is most men are losers. And so you want your girlfriend to go out and remember that.
Yeah, go see
and
what these
then come
idiots
home
look
and
like
be
at
like,
this
thank
wedding.
God for you.
Right.
Like, that's the confidence you all should have.
Go watch some middle management asshole do the electric slide, and then you get to come back to this middle management asshole and see how lucky you are. Yeah, to me it feels controlling, and it's like the idea to and what I don't like that he did is he made it about
disrespecting the relationship.
Right. It made it this moral conundrum, and it's like, it's not that deep. No. I want to go have some drinks with my coworkers who I don't really see anymore, the former coworkers.
Yeah.
I would play this for him. Like, I would just be like, like, there's like,
come on, bro.
There's two people hearing. First of all, he's going to hear your words.
Yeah.
And then he's going to hear two people go, this is kind of ridiculous.
I will say one piece of advice just to get, like everyone is entitled to their emotions. I'm not saying it's wrong for him to feel whatever he might feel, insecure, anxious, left out, jealous, like, that's human.
Right.
And she can come at that with empathy and understanding and not shame him for it. But he's not allowed to take those emotions and then use them to control her. That's the line.
Well, you're completely right. Here's the thing that I guess I'm happy you brought that up, because you go, something else is off.
Yeah.
There's something off in this relationship.
Yeah.
She's like, I love my man, we're fiance. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Why did this affect him so much?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and, on the other side of this, we're getting the emailer's perspective. We're getting,
of course.
So we don't know what the other side of this, but like, I've been in those situations where they're like, what? I just want to go to a party.
And you're like the context.
Yeah, you go, but you don't invite me to anything.
Right,
of
course.
And so we don't know that story.
Totally.
So on the same way that he's like, you're disrespecting our relationship.
Yeah.
This person needs to look in the mirror and go, am I doing the thing where I do the thing where I go, it's just a party?
Right. Am I making him feel safe enough to know that he can trust me? Because like I said in the beginning, when people, in my opinion, feel fundamentally safe, this little Seth doesn't faze them. But if there's something foundational here that he doesn't feel secure for whatever reason,
it's
enough to make him think that this could actually be like you trying to get away from him.
Right.
That there might be something deeper there.
That's the tough part. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Here with Rozzy. Go follow This is Rozzy Berry. That's the deluxe album. You're getting all the songs. Yes. Can we play it?
Yeah.
Can we play, Shelby, at the end of the episode, some songs from...
Awesome.
Can you do that? Do you need anything from...
I can send them to you.
Awesome. Love it. We'll play it at the end.
Amazing.
So at the end of this episode, we're going to play some Rozzy. Listen, love it, enjoy, then subscribe. Boyfriend met a friend through dating apps. JTrain, Feather. I've been a fan since 2016. Had the chance to see your stand up this year, and you crushed it. Let's get into it. My boyfriend and I have been dating for just over a year. We are both in our late 20s. Before he met me, he went on a date with a girl from Bumble. Shortly after, he met me, also through Bumble, and told the girl they should just be friends, and they have seen each other platonically every couple of months. In the past, he said they mostly talk about career stuff. I trust him completely, and he has a lot of really great female friends from work or in a social circle who I get along with. This girl is the only one he's met through a dating app. She invited him to a party, and he brought me, and she didn't really engage me in conversation and was directing a lot of attention towards him. She brought up events she wanted to go to with him, asked if she was invited to his housewarming party. He interacted with her just like his friends and would be touchy with me, hand-holding, etc. Throughout the night. The situation made me uncomfortable, but I didn't address it directly at the time. It really bothers me that this person is someone he's continuing to occasionally see, who he doesn't have any mutual connections with, and was at one time attracted enough to get off his couch and go on a date. Before meeting my boyfriend, I was on the apps for 5 years and went on plenty of first dates, and I'm not friends with any of them. The deepest, darkest, most insecure part of myself can't help but wonder if he's keeping her around as a backup option in case he and I don't work out. What's the best way for me to open up this conversation, and do you have any tips on approach? The housewarming party is coming up, and he mentioned that her name was on the invite list, but I don't know if she's going. Thank you for all the advice over the years. I appreciate all you do, and I'm always rooting for you. What do you think?
Interesting. I mean, the sentence that stood out to me was that this girl wasn't engaging with her.
Totally agree. This is a fabulous email because it is. There's so much here. And to go back to the last email, I hate the person that goes, "We're just friends."
Right.
I hate that fucking
totally.
person. Totally. Oh, we're just friends. What? She comes over.
Yeah.
And we go for dinner and we kiss sometimes. We're friends. You don't think men and women can be in friendship? And you go,
playing dumb is infuriating.
And I'm like, listen, I'm a bullshitter.
Yeah.
So you can't get one over my head.
Right.
I don't miss much.
Totally.
Especially socially. I have this thing where I'm like, and people like that bother me. Yeah. So like, and I don't think, it doesn't sound like he's doing that.
I was going to say, everything she said seems like he was like touchy with her and normal with this girl, and really seems like he's not crossing any lines, but that this girl might have, and I know that feeling. I've definitely seen that look in another woman's eyes where I just know, and it might be a female instinct. Right. I'm sure men have it too, like in some kind of third eye or something where I just know you have a crush on my boyfriend. That's okay. A lot of people do. I get it, but I
do too.
Yeah, you know, like same. Yeah,
right. So no, but I totally agree with you because she brings up this hypothetical of like he's keeping her on the back burner. No, I think that other woman is keeping him because she's like, I'll wait them out. Yeah. I'll keep them in close. And because she's doing a little bit of the friend zone until that. Because here's the major part of this. They met on Bumble like around the same time.
Totally. Yeah,
it's not like an old friend. There's no reason for him to keep her around.
No, and I will say this woman makes an excellent distinction between all his other female friends that she feels no concern over. Right. And I don't know, you know, how much of that is a voice of insecurity because they met on Bumble. But I don't know. Bumble, she seemed logical to me, so I trust her.
I trust her too. And also, like, well, first of all, meeting on a dating app is an acknowledgement. I think you're attractive.
Totally.
Done. Yeah. Plain and simple. So she's going, okay, so you're friends, but you thought she was attractive in the past. Okay. Mm-hmm. And even if you went on the date, she even says he got off the couch. Like, we get matches all the time that we don't go out with. True. He's attracted to her. Mm-hmm. So, like, and she's attracted to him. So, like, I don't know how she brings it up, but I think he needs to be less naive.
I agree. And I think the trickiest part here is for her to not lose her, like, I'm searching for the word, but like her trustworthiness. It's easy for him to say you're being insecure, you know, but I think she can lead with, you know, listen, I trust you completely. I know how you feel about me. I love 99% of your female friends. Right. This one, I have to be honest, makes me uncomfortable. maybe I'm wrong.
Here, let me add to this.
Yeah.
She has to become a lawyer.
Yeah.
Here are the facts. I went to the party. I tried to be cool with her.
Yeah.
She kind of iced me out.
Yeah, totally. Honestly, you're right, actually. She doesn't even really need to mention.
No. I made an attempt. She wasn't really warm towards me. And if he can't see that, then he doesn't want to see that.
Totally.
That's the point where now you have a different conversation. Well, if you won't see that, we have an issue. But I need you to see.
Like, if he's strangely protective over this friend,
then he is kind of using this as a backup. Or he's getting out of this the dopamine that comes with a woman liking you.
Yeah, that might be more what it is.
The attention.
Yeah.
Like, and then she would go, well, it's not enough for me. It's not enough. It's just this comes from a different part of the brain that's a little bit like embarrassing that we all have of like, I want this other person thinks I'm hot. It's different than my girlfriend thinking I'm hot.
Yeah, totally.
JTrain podcast at gmail.com. JTrain podcast at gmail.com. Do we have time? No, that's our last email. We did it.
We solved everyone's problems.
We solved all the dating problems. Holy shit, that was great. So listen, Rozzy, we're going to play your music.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
We're going to play the music at the end of the show. Just keep listening. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Everyone go follow Rozzy at This Is Rozzy. This is Rozzy.com for tour dates on Spotify, Apple Music. But we're going to have all that information in the description of this podcast. I'm Jared Freid. We're here every Monday taking your emails. Keep sending them in. JTrainPodcast at gmail.com. We'll be back next episode. Boom.